secondhand toy dealer here, and I have a clearance pickup to show you today. Walmart has been clearancing a lot of items and been marking stuff down to some pretty impressive prices. So, my kids used to watch the Paw Patrol when they were just little kids. And my youngest boy, his favorite character was Rubble. And I thought this was kind of a fun little plush. I mean, it almost seems like it could be like a bath toy or something. I mean, I'm not sure why it's a stuffed animal in the shape of a cube, but Rubble was my youngest boy's favorite character, so this is kind of an homage to his fascination with Rubble. And this was a clearance price of, it was originally $9.97, marked down to $3. Well, it looked like maybe it was marked down to $5.50, then down to $3, and then down to $1, so almost 90% off. So that's kind of a fun, steep discount right there. And we will put him down here on the pegboard. And then I saw this a few months ago on TikTok, and I thought it was kind of fun. You can, it's something that you can smash. It's like a Stretch Armstrong kind of deal, where you throw him and he can literally flatten on the floor, and he can really take whatever shape you pound him into. Super heavy. This thing's a really heavy packaging, and for $10 I really didn't think it was a bad price. My nephews got a couple, but when they went down to $4.50, I thought, you know, that's going to be a fun thing to display on the pegboard. So got a spot here, and he'll go right there. That's probably something that ultimately will come off of the pegboard at some point when I need to make room for something more nostalgically exciting to me. But for now, I thought that was kind of a fun thing for the display. I found a new Hot Wheels monster truck release. This is the Jurassic Park Ford Explorer. I always liked the bright colors of this vehicle. I have a couple examples here. I got a Jada Nano Scene, and then back in there's a Jada Nano Hollywood Rides somewhere back there that has that vehicle in it. But last year they had the Jeep from Jurassic Park, so this will go on the peg with it. And I think that those bright colors really display nice on the pegboard. And then another Walmart clearance. I have been picking up on clearance a lot of these Black Series Star Wars holiday figures. I picked up the Scout Trooper and then the Protocol Droid, and these were something like $7.50 each. And then this one was $27, discounted to $20, then down to $15, and then finally I picked it up at $10. So add that to the collection of holiday figures. And then I am a new and packaged collector, obviously, and I have very little use for windowless packaging. But I do want an example of windowless packaging in my collection as kind of a talking point of just crazy things that manufacturers do, thinking that they're going to be able to do things differently, save money, maybe be more profitable for themselves. And it's a shame because Shipwreck was one of my favorite characters as a kid. I had this 3 3/4 O-ring action figure as a kid. I really liked it. And when I heard they were going to be doing Shipwreck, I was excited until I found out it was a windowless packaging. But when it went on clearance for $8, I decided to bump the windowless packaging example out of the collection that I had. I had a Spider-Man Future Foundation suit, and I had gotten that on clearance. It was originally like $27. I got it for $12 off for $15, but I'll swap it out for a G.I. Joe Shipwreck that I got for $8, and I'll just kick the Spider-Man loose. And then we got an eBay find. This is a Jada Battle Machines. I really liked these a long time ago. In the early 2000s, I would purchase these, and back in the early 2000s, I was not a new in package collector. I was a loose without packaging collector. And I really liked these battle machines. I'd love to see them make a comeback, but for a while there, they were really pricey. Probably 2, 3, 4 years ago, this car was going for about $40 to $50. And I picked this one up just last week for $10 shipped. So really excited about that price. I think that they probably originally retailed for about $4 or $5. And I have a few here. So I've got a 69 Camaro SS with flames, and there's that same 69 Camaro, and it has a police printing on the side. You can see that they come with machine guns, and this Mustang here is like armor plated with some rockets in the front of it, so that's its armor and armament. And then we've got a taxi cab Bel Air, and it has a machine gun and some armor. There's another Mustang, and it's got a police printing on the outside of it. And this one's actually got some weathering, well, some distressed dirt marks on it. That's pretty cool. And then we have another 57 Chevy Bel Air. This one's got some red and blue flames, and I really think that this reminds me of that Mask vehicle that they had back in the 80s. So this was a really fun line to collect, and I'm glad I have some represented in my collection. It's one of the first things I collected as an adult. And then I found some Nerf Gelfire Mythic blasters. These were originally $69, and I found a couple on clearance for $26. I ended up selling one of those, and then I find two more, the last two on this shelf, and they were $16. Discounted from $69, that is a spectacular find. So I think that it's fun to display lots and lots of different kinds of Nerf blasters. To my knowledge, I believe I have an example of everything that they have sold in the last few years. So this will go on display on the pegboard. And then I found some Micro Galaxy Squadron vehicles. The Boba Fett Starship. And if memory serves, this was called the Slave 2 or the Slave 1. I think his dad's ship was the Slave 1 and this would be the Slave 2. But they couldn't call it that now that Disney owns it. That's too edgy to not politically correct for the packaging. But I picked this up for $5, and I peeled off the stickers of this one to kind of dig my way down to the original price. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll show the discounted price and then what the last price was. and that doesn't really represent what it used to be. What it used to be when it was originally hitting the store shelves, its original retail was $32.97. So to get it for $5, that was a spectacular deal. But this is an interesting little tidbit. The back of this claims that these little blasters at the base of the vehicle swivel 135 degrees. And if you come to this packaging here, it says that it swivels 180 degrees. So you've got one package that shows 180 degrees and one package that shows 135 degrees. So do you think that they made a change and this one doesn't swivel as much as this one? Or do you think that they realized that somebody misprinted one of these numbers and they corrected it? Either way, do you think 20 years from now, anybody who's going to be collecting these new in package is going to realize that there was two different claims on the packaging, and will one of these fetch a higher price because, oh, this was the first edition, or this was the error, or vice versa, and people will be looking for the different claim on the back of the packaging? Some future speculation on potential future new in package collecting. Now, I really like this Micro Galaxy Squadron. I recently found the B-Wing, and I ended up taking that one out of the packaging to check it out, and gonna have it displayed on the glass counter. But from what I'm seeing, I think that this line is a spectacular line of collectible vehicles. I have a TIE Interceptor and a Millennium Falcon. I got the Millennium Falcon on clearance, and I would love to get an AT-AT on clearance. That $69 price point is just bananas, and I would love to see it come down to somewhere between $30 and $20, and then I will probably purchase one and make room for it somewhere in the collection. Alright, well, that is the toy pickups for this week. Thanks for checking out my videos. Hopefully, we will catch you in the next one.
That was awesome! Yes! That's awesome!
It's pretty cool, I guess.
Are you gonna be a dork your whole life? Hope not.
I'm really, really sorry. I apologize unreservedly. I offer a complete and utter retraction. The imputation was totally without basis in fact and was in no way fair comment and was motivated purely by malice. And I deeply regret any distress that my comments may have caused you or your family. And I hereby undertake not to repeat any such slander at any time in the future.